Hey, it's Chris from chrisbeatcancer.com, and this is Q&A video number 2 on April 11th, 2014, answering more questions here. Okay, so the first question is from Stephanie. Use of massage, acupuncture, etc. Do you think these alternative therapies play well with defeating cancer? Also, what veggies or fruits would you say are okay to eat if they aren't organic? So that's 2 questions. That's really not fair. But yes, I had massage, I had structural integration done, which is Rolfing, I had chiropractic adjustments done, I had acupuncture done. All of those things are beneficial, and I encourage you to do them because one, any tissue manipulation is going to promote circulation, not only blood circulation but lymphatic circulation, which can promote healing and detoxification. Same with acupuncture. Acupuncture and chiropractic both it can improve the energy flow in your body, and they're essentially good for your nervous system. Make sure that your cells are all communicating one another, that your brain is communicating with your cells and with your immune system, etc. And so I have a really awesome healing story I'm going to post very soon. I'll put a link to it once I do, right here, of an amazing chiropractic healing story. So stay tuned for that. All right, the second question she asked was, which fruits and vegetables should you eat if they're not organic? The general rule of thumb is, there's my cat. So the general rule of thumb is you want to, eat as much as you can organic and in season. Now, having said that, finances are an option. I'm getting attacked by bugs. They don't like this question. And if your finances are a problem too, the safest vegetables and fruits to eat that aren't organic are the ones that you don't eat the skin. So in other words, you eat the skin of an apple, you eat the skin of berries, right? You don't eat the skin of an avocado, you don't eat the skin of a pineapple or a coconut. So everything else being equal, if you eat the skin, it really needs to be organic. Now, soy and corn are almost all GMO, so you should avoid those unless they're organic. But that's the general rule of thumb. Now, Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, publishes a list every year of the cleanest and the dirtiest produce. And that's a great reference guide to go and see which produce you absolutely need to buy organic 100% and which you can kind of get away with not buying organic. I prefer to buy almost everything organic because my personal opinion is that there is nothing I would rather spend my money on than the highest quality, cleanest food available. So we made sacrifices early on with our budget, 10 years ago, in order to spend more money on food because it's that important. And so we really just don't even look at our grocery bills. I don't think about them. We just buy what we need, buy what we want, and it's a priority for us. And I encourage everybody to try to make that transition where you're spending more money on healthy food. It's worth it. Okay. Twilla asks, any thoughts on bee pollen? Yeah, there's some very powerful properties in royal jelly, like immune boosting and health benefits from royal jelly, from propolis, from honey, from bee pollen. Yeah, so I'm an advocate of those things. I think they could be helpful. So I'm definitely not against them. And I've consumed all of them at various points in the last 10 years. Okay, Carolyn asks about sugar, which I covered in the previous video. Sharon asks, would it be better to sprout apricot kernels before consuming them, or is this unnecessary? I've never sprouted them before consuming them, and I like sprouting, but I'm not hardcore about sprouting. Like, I don't believe every nut you eat should be sprouted, or every bean you eat should be sprouted. Most of the longest living and healthiest populations all over the world are not active sprouters. They're not raw vegans, they're not fruitarians. They eat a largely plant-based diet, tons of fruits and vegetables, but they don't have all the hardcore sort of health rules that some of us think are necessary. So I think sprouts are great. The sprout I eat the most would be broccoli sprouts. Okay. Did you have a toxic metals hair analysis? And what were the results before and after cancer? Yes, I did. I don't know if I ever had a follow-up, but I had an initial hair analysis, and I believe everyone should have one because you'd be amazed at what kind of toxins are in your hair. Lead, titanium, aluminum, like all kinds of stuff. And if it's in your hair, that means it was in your body first. So that's very good to do, and it's a great idea. I should probably have a follow-up test done because I'm just curious to know after 10 years if there's any heavy metal exposure in my life. And if so, I would need to figure out where it's coming from. So, yeah, great question. Everyone should have a hair analysis done. But, yeah, I never did a follow-up, I don't think. I'll have to check with my nutritionist on that. He might have it in his files. Okay. Let's see. Sonia asks, will you be writing a book on your journey through curing cancer? Yes, I will. I'm working on it. Been working on it for a long time. Okay, but you'll be the first to know as soon as it's finished. All right, Fiona, what to do if doctors are pressuring immediate treatment, e.g. acute leukemia? Well, doctors always pressure immediate treatment. And so what you need to do is ask for time. Step back and say, look, this is my life. I want to think about this, and I want to make an informed decision. And I made a video about this where I said, you know, what you need to know when you're diagnosed with cancer. I'll put a link here. The gist of it is, don't let anyone rush you into anything. Don't let them do it. This is your life, and ultimately you're responsible for the decisions you make. You're responsible for the consequences and the outcomes of unnecessary treatment. You have to live with the consequences and the side effects of chemotherapy and radiation and surgical treatments. And as we know, and we've seen over and over again, published scientific studies and reports from the cancer industry that these therapies are very destructive. Most of them promote additional cancer growth and weaken your body. They're a short-term fix to a long-term problem. None of them cure cancer. What they do is they alleviate the symptoms for a short time for the vast majority of cancers, especially solid tumor cancers. So there's always going to be someone out there that says, what about testicular cancer? Yes, testicular cancer has had great results with chemotherapy. It's one of the very few that actually respond to chemotherapy. That includes some lymphomas and some leukemias and testicular. But that's it. The vast majority of cancers, especially the ones that are killing the most of us, breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, solid tumor cancers, I have very, very dismal survival, like long-term survival outcomes with standard treatments. So it's important to know that and to learn and read and research and make an informed decision that you're comfortable with. Listen to your instincts and your intuition, and don't go against that. If you've got a gut feeling that what they're telling you to do is not good and is not right for you and doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't jive with you, then don't agree to it. I have lost count of how many cancer patients I've met who have told me, I wish I hadn't said yes. I wish I hadn't let them do this, that, or the other to me. And I wish I'd taken more time to change my life and change my diet and really get to the root cause of my sickness. And the root cause of your sickness is not a tumor. That's the symptom. So anyway, thanks for watching. This wraps up Q&A video number 2. Subscribe to my channel. Please share this video if you think it'll be helpful to more people. Check out chrisbeatcancer.com for lots of information on nutrition and natural cancer therapies.